Welcome Primary 4, with you is Miss Noor Abdurrahman, and today we are going to start lesson number 2 on concept number 2 on unit number 3. So are you ready to start? Let's go. Today we are going to start the types of fuel. Before we have studied the examples of fuel, but today we are going to know the types of fuel. We have two types of fuel. How many types? Two types. Again, what is the fuel? Can you remember what is the meaning of fuel? It is any substance produce thermal energy when it's burned. Okay, we have two types of this fuel, biofuel and fossil fuel. Again, biofuel and fossil fuel. Let's start with biofuel. What is the biofuel? It's a fuel. Okay. From its name, it's called bio. What's the meaning of bio? It's coming from word biology. And biology means living organism. What's the living organism? Humans, animals, plants. Again, what's the living organisms? Humans, animals, plants. And especially today we are going to talk about the plants. So what is the biofuel? It is a fuel which made of living organisms. Again, what's the meaning of biofuel? It is the fuel which produced from living organisms. Like what? Like the plants. Again, what is the meaning of biofuel? It is a fuel produced from living organisms like the plants. Okay. The biofuel is made of plants. It's a fuel which made of plants. So it is a renewable or non-renewable? Excellent. It's a renewable because the plant can be renewed, like the tree. If you cut the tree, can you plant another tree? Yes. So, why the biofuel is a renewable energy? Because it can be replaced or renewed in a short time. Okay, where is the primary source of energy of the biofuel? What's the meaning of primary source? Primary source means the main source. The energy of the biofuel is coming from what? The energy of the biofuel is a chemical energy, and it is also coming from the sun, because all the plants take its energy from the sun by photosynthesis process. Can you remember? So the sun is the primary source of energy of the biofuel. The sun is the primary source of energy of anything. It is the sun. It is the main source of energy and the primary source of energy. Okay, let's talk about the examples of biofuel. Number 1, we have the wood. The wood is a biofuel. Why? Because it is produced from living organism, which is the plant. Number 2, it's called charcoal. Again, it's called what? Charcoal. Okay, the charcoal, it's a type of coal, but it is not the same coal which we take it from under the earth's surface. The charcoal, it is a coal which the human can make it. How? The humans take some wood and put it in a device. This device will change this wood into a black rock, which is called charcoal. So the charcoal is a biofuel. Why? Because it is made of living organism, which is the plant. Okay, number 3, we have a liquid biofuel. Again, liquid biofuel. The wood is solid, the charcoal is solid, but number 3 is a liquid fuel or a liquid biofuel. Okay, how can it become a liquid? The liquid biofuel is made of two plants. The liquid biofuel made of two plants. They are taken and put it in a very, very, very big device, and this device will change these two plants into a liquid biofuel. What is the name of these two plants? Number 1, grass, corn. Do you know the grass which is planted behind the corn plant? It's called grass. It's called what? Grass. And this is the wood chips. Number 2 is wood chips. It is a small part of wood. They taking the wood chips and also the grass corn, and after that they put it inside a device. This device change these two plants into a liquid biofuel. Okay, so the liquid biofuel now, it is a type of biofuel and it is made of plants. So it is also renewable resource of energy. So now we talked about three examples of biofuel. Repeat it again. Wood, charcoal, liquid biofuel. Wood, charcoal, liquid biofuel. Okay, the liquid biofuel made of two plants. Can you remember? Grass, corn, and wood chips. Again, grass, corn, and wood chips. Okay. Now let's talk about the conservation of biofuel. The biofuel is a renewable energy, but also we should conserve it or rationalize it. What's the meaning of conserve or rationalize? That means that we should save it and keep it because we don't want it to run out. So we should conserve it and rationalize it. So rationalize mean save or keep. Okay. At first, to use the biofuel, we need to use the wood. Okay, and to use the wood, we need to cut down the trees. Okay, what will happen if you make a rapid cutting down? We maybe cutting down all the trees on the forest. What will happen? It has a bad effect on the environment. When there is no trees, there is no animals, so there is no humans. So it will has a very negative effect on the environment. So we should make what? Rationalized. What is the meaning of rationalized? When we cut one tree, we can plant another tree. When we cut 10 trees, we will plant another 10 trees. So this is called rationalized. This is called what again, Rationalized. So rationalized mean when I cut one tree, I will plant another tree. This is the conservation of biofuel. Okay, do you know how many centimeters does the trees grow each year? Very, very, very few centimeters. And the tree reach their full height in a period nearly equal the human lifetime. What is the meaning of that? Okay, we can reach our full height maybe in 20 years, but the tree reach its full height in a human lifetime. What is the human lifetime? Maybe 60 years or 70 years. So the tree reach its full height in maybe 70 years. Oh my God, that means that the growth of these trees will take more time than humans' lifetime. So the tree is taking a long time to be planted again. So it is not the best choice to use as a main source of fuel. That's why we should conserve and rationalize the biofuel or the trees and plants and roots. Now let's talk about the fossil fuel. What is the fossil fuel? The fossil fuel, it is the fuel which produced from all living organism. What's the meaning of all living organism? It is the plants and animals which were died. They're dead and now we will use it as a fuel. Okay, so what's the meaning of fuel, What's the meaning of fossil fuel? It is the fuel which produced from all living organisms like what? Plants and animals. After they died, they peered under the earth's surface. Peered under the earth's surface. They become under the earth's surface and this is called peered. Peered under the earth's surface and decompose. What's the meaning of decompose? Decompose means become from that to that. This is called decompose. This is called what? Decompose. So when the animals die and buried under the earth's surface and decompose, they will become a fossil fuel. So what is the fossil fuel again, It is the fuel which produced from all living organisms were buried and decomposed under the earth's surface for a long time. So again, what is the fuel which is produced from all living organisms which appeared and decomposed for a long time? Fossil fuel. It's called what? Fossil fuel. What is the examples of fossil fuel? Number one, gasoline, natural gas, and coal. Again, what is the fossil fuel? Gasoline, natural gas, and coal. Okay, do you remember the coal is made of what? It's made of dead trees from millions of years. Excellent. So the coal is formed when the remains of plants decompose. When the plant is died and buried under the earth's surface and decompose for millions of years, it will become a coal. So the coal is fossil fuel. Number two, the gasoline and the natural gas. Do you know the gasoline and natural gas are made of what? The gasoline and natural gas are formed when the remains of marine organisms decompose. What's the meaning of marine organisms? Marine organisms means sea animals. Sea animals like the fish, like the octopus, when they die and they decompose under the earth's surface, they will become a two types of fuel, gasoline and natural gas. Gasoline and natural gas. So the coal is made of decomposed plants, but the gasoline and natural gas are made of decomposed marine organisms or decomposed sea animals. Okay, from these examples, the fossil fuel is renewable or non-renewable resource of energy? It is a non-renewable. Why? Because it cannot be replaced or renewed, or it will take a very long time to be renewed. It will take a millions of years to be renewed again. If I have a 1 kilo of coal again and I use this coal, can I renew it in a short time, or it will take a millions of years? It will take a millions of years. So it is a non-renewable resource of energy. Okay, what is the primary source of fossil fuel? What is the primary source of coal and gasoline? It is also the sun. Why? Because the coal is made of dead trees and the trees are taking the energy from the sun. And also the sea animals. The sea animals, they are eating a food and this food is taking the energy from the sun. So all these energies or these types of fuel are taking the energy from the sun. The sun is the primary source of fossil fuel and biofuel and all types of energies. Now let's talk about the formation of coal. From 3 million years ago, there was a large areas on the earth were covered with swamps. And swamps means the green water. The green water, it's called swamps. Okay, and behind this swamps, near of it, there is a plant growing. And when this plant is died, their remains were decomposed under the earth's surface and it will covered with a lot of mud. And when it's covered with a lot of mud and rocks, it will be under the ground in a very, very high temperature because under the earth's surface it's very hot, and it will be a very high pressure because the earth is pressing on it. So it will become, in millions of years, it will become a what? A coal. So because a very extreme heat, temperature, and very extreme pressure under the earth's surface, this remains will change into a coal. So under the earth's surface or under the ground, there is an extreme heat and extreme pressure. Extreme heat and extreme pressure. And it will change into a coal. So the coal is made of dead plants. Now let's talk about the formation of oil. As we know, the oil is a non-renewable resource of energy because it's taking a very long time to be renewed again. And the oil is extracted from the underground because the decomposition of marine organism. Because the oil is made of what? Huh? Dead marine organism or dead sea animals were decomposed under the ground for millions of years. And now let's talk about the formation of oil. And also from 300 million years ago, the remains of marine organisms which die, it's settle on the ocean floor. Under the ocean, there is a floor, right? Okay, so when these fishes will die, when this fish will die, it will settle on the ocean floor. And when the fishes die and settle on the ocean floor, there is some sediment will cover it. What's the meaning of sediment? Some rocks and also some sand will cover it, and some mud will cover it. So it will be on a high pressure and on a high temperature. So under the earth's surface there is a high temperature, and high pressure will change this marine organisms into millions of years into what? Into a fossil fuel. So the fossil fuel is made of a dead sea animals buried under the ground and decompose for millions of years. Why? Because under the earth's surface there is what? High temperature and high pressure. High temperature and high pressure. Or there is an extreme heat and extreme pressure. And after time it will also change into oil, and we will extract it from under the earth surface. Now let's talk about the conservation of oil. What's the meaning of conservation again? How to keep or how to save. Okay, the oil is consumed. That means it is used faster than can be renewed because it is a non-renewable resource of energy. So we must conserve it. How? Number one, we should reducing the use of private vehicles like the car and buses. We should reduce or decrease the use of them, and using the public means of transportation. Okay, so that's why we can keep and conserve the oil from running out. Number two, the conservation of water. How can we conserve the water? We must avoid wasting the pollution of water because we may not be able to replace it as quickly as we need because it is because it is used faster than renew. And number two, we should grow a plants that don't need a large amount of water to grow. And that's how can we conserve the water. With you was Ms. Noor Abdurrahman, and thank you for listening.